What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I checked out his foreign language film on Netflix. It's called Mosul. It's a military thriller from writer-director Matthew Michael Carnahan, and it's his directorial debut. He was the screenwriter for films like World War Z, State of Play, Dark Waters, Deepwater Horizon, Lines for Lambs, The Kingdom, and also 21 Bridges, with the latter being a production from the Russo brothers. And of course, the Russo brothers are known for their work on the Captain America sequels as well as the last two Avengers films. They are also the producer for this film, and that got me pretty excited. I was really looking forward to this film simply because the Russo brothers are producers in this film, and I'm just interested in anything that they touch. Anything that they are involved with, even though they're not the directors, they're the producers for this film. I'm interested just simply because I'm a fan of their work. So I got pretty hyped for Mosul. Anyways, Mosul is a military thriller. Like I said, it's a foreign language film, and it is, in a nutshell, it's about this SWAT team, this Iraqi SWAT team. They recruit a young policeman, and then they are out to kill bad guys. Al-Qaeda, right? They want to do their best to restore peace in the war-torn town or city of Mosul in Iraq, and that's the general gist of the story. And I just figured, okay, pretty simple. Actually, it's a little bit more complex than that. There is a mission, can't tell you what it is, and it isn't really revealed to the audience as you watch the film until later on. So that's what keeps you really interested in the film. It keeps you really engaged in the film. Now, I want to just remind you guys that this is a foreign language film. I've seen a lot of foreign language films, and by that I really mean that I watched a lot of films from Asia because, well, I'm also Asian, so I naturally gravitate towards Asian foreign language films, like films from China, films from Japan, Korea. I naturally gravitate towards that just because I'm interested more in Asian culture, right? But that doesn't mean I don't mind watching other foreign language films. Like this one, for example, is because I just like knowing more about what goes on around the world. And I also want to watch more foreign films because I think there's a lot of crap coming out of Hollywood. Just gonna admit it right now. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't have a whole lot of substance to them. This one is a very story-driven film. Now, I didn't think that I would be as engaged in this film. Not so much because I had to read subtitles, but because it's a military thriller where they're just out to kill bad guys. And we read about and we see a lot of news about a lot of fighting going on in the Middle East, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, how much interesting is this really going to be? You know what really keeps this interesting? It's the characters. I was so surprised how engaged I was, not just with the story, but I really got invested in the characters. It's from the great performances, the really good performances, and also every character in this movie, like, they really stand out. I really thought that, I wouldn't care who is who. I would only care for the young policeman and the leader. I wouldn't care for the other guys. I actually really care for every single character. Every single character puts on a good performance, and not only that, they make their characters stand out from the personalities that they convey in the film. So, combined with this really mysterious mission that they got going on, that makes this film very engaging. So, this is a while it is a Russo brothers production, while it is written and directed by a Hollywood filmmaker, this still is I wouldn't group it in the same category as bigger American military films, and it's maybe because they have a lower budget or something. It's not as big in that sense. You know what I'm saying? A lot of American military films have this really grand moments. Like I'm talking about big sequences, right? It's not really like that. I think there's a little bit more realism here. I also think that this is a more personal story, so it doesn't really need big sequences. So if you're expecting big like climactic action sequences, you're not really gonna get that. Like I said, this is a more personal story. It's a more personal military thriller. So I'll just leave it at that. But like I said, if you want to watch something that is engaging, story-driven, and full of really great performances where you are invested in these characters, I would recommend this film. And yeah, give it a shot. If you are interested in seeing what goes on through the perspective of non-American characters, non-American soldiers, definitely give this film a chance because I think it's quite good. I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like, it's not a super high score. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's some cultural aspects about the film that I didn't really understand. So that it lost me at some of those moments. But you know, it doesn't mean it's not a good film. It really is a good film with a lot of great aspects about it. But like, there's some expectations of mine that were different, okay? But by no means is this a bad film. This is really a good film. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, and I recommend it. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And my name is Alex Yu, and I'll see you next time. Peace.